What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. Hope you're doing well today. We have got a very exciting track today. This is a first track release, and it's been a very long time since I've seen so many positive comments about someone's first track. It's called RGMX and is created by RGMX Racing. I think clue is in the name. And it's a long-ish Supercross track, which almost gives off like local vibes, like some sort of special event. Now, what's really exciting about this is he hasn't just kind of rested on his laurels, he's just done a track and that's it. We have a dry version and we also have a wet version, and I think the wet version looks really cool. I'm going to be sticking with the dry one today, just because there's a lot of big line opportunities around here. I have seen a lot of people giving this really good compliments. It's got 5 stars on MXB Mods, about 30 plus comments, all saying really nice positive things. Charlie has ridden this track already before me, and he says the only one thing that he could find wrong with the track is that there's only about 24 gates rather than having like a double lineup if necessary to get a crap load of people on it. So I'm very excited to try it out. I'm going to try riding the Suzuki 450 today as well, which should be some good fun. And without further ado, let's get into it and spin some laps. For all of you passionate gamers, you can now get 20% off all G Fuel products worldwide by using code LINS at checkout. And for any of you motorheads looking for some new drip or apparel, use code MXPR_LINS15 fxrracing.eu to get 15% off. All links and codes are in the description down below. Enjoy the video and drop a cheeky little like and subscribe. Rightio then, let's rate the drip. What are we thinking, boys? Are we liking the vibe? I think this is honestly one of my favourite bike skins as well. It's not overcomplicated, it's just very subtle, very clean, and I do enjoy it. Let me put the map on as well. There we go. So you can see it's a slightly longer Supercross track than you'd usually expect. But we're going to see what we can do today. We're going to see what lines we're rocking with. We have got just a double. So apparently he's built that. It's very difficult, I think, these days to build a Supercross track that both 250s and 450s can ride equally well, just because of how much more power the 4s have than the 2s these days. So he said apparently there are some big boy lines for the 450s to be hitting, and then some more, I guess, tame / regular lines for the 250 boys. The Suzuki, whilst being my favourite bike in terms of its appearance, and it's very good through whoops as well, to be fair. Oh, actually, speak of the devil, let's try it out through these. It's quite good in whoops. I find it really struggles. So if there's like a massive quad on a track that you can just barely squeak out on, say, the Husky, the Suzuki is near impossible to do so. So whilst I wish it was a super fast fun bike, and there are people out there that are very capable of riding it fast, like Aiden, for example, he's been doing really well in the NA series, I can't really do that. So I treat it more as a hop-on for fun bike every now and then instead, and hopefully it all goes swimmingly for us today. I say a lot of these rhythm sections, they seem quite intuitive so far. I seem to be kind of hitting stuff at the right speed to be tripping my way through, and I'm guessing these are the 250 lines, which he's speaking of, and then 450s can probably uncork a couple of quads. Let's go over this. Oh, there's a corner after this. Let's just check up. And I wanted to apologise. So in the last video, I had no idea, but obviously everyone knows now. I apologise for your left ears because it was set to, it wasn't set to mono. So this game, and I'm not sure why my voice was doing it as well, but this game has a really weird way of handling audio. Like sometimes it will just come out of one ear rather than the other. If you don't go into like your Windows sound settings and change your headphones, it can be like super loud in one ear and really quiet in another. So it's always best to run it on mono, which I wasn't doing because for whatever reason, my OBS, which I now use to record instead of Streamlabs, because I had so much grief from Streamlabs, my OBS just removed the mono setting on it. So I apologise for that. I'm hoping that it's fixed this time round. If it's not, you are more than welcome to bully me in the comments as much as you wish, and then I will go back to the drawing board and try and work out what I did wrong there. But yeah, you know what? I've been doing this for so long now. Ooh, okay, I wasn't even trying to quad that. Hang on a second, let's spin around. I've been doing this for so long now, and I had the same settings set for so long that I could just turn up and press the record button and be confident that what I was doing was right. So now I'm kind of switching everything over again. A little bit more difficult, and bales have collisions. Okay, some people are going to love that. Some people are going to hate it. I think it's both good and bad. It's if you get something slightly wrong, you're going to know about it. But then, at the same time, it teaches you to be a little bit more careful. So, I think you could go quad double there, or quad triple might be the more sensible line to do. I think you could also step over that tabletop. I'm going to spin around and try that again. Let's just try and see what lines we can get away with, rather than doing anything, you know, normal, let's say. Let's see what we can get away with. Oh, sorry, I just looked across there. I thought my mic wasn't being picked up, but it is. We're safe. So, third time's a charm. We'll spin around here. We'll keep it in second gear because I find that the Suzuki's gearing is a bit longer. Yeah, step over, triple, and then what we got coming out of here? Just a triple. I don't think it's worth trying to quad that. So triple, triple, double. Can we do like a little tyre tap and step over the table here? You 100% can. And then you'd kind of triple your way through the rest of this. So good amount of line selection already. I'm literally haven't finished 2 laps of the track yet, and I'm already excited to like experiment and see what's what. I don't think you can do anything different through the sand. I think it is just double, 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 and then check up on the wall at the very end, which isn't too bad at all. I'm actually quite a fan of sand sections on soupy tracks. It's a nice little, I guess, mix. It breaks things up a little bit, so it's not so intense the entire way around. And I was having a look actually earlier today at a bunch of the upcoming track maps for this year. We've got some very interesting rounds. I'm not excited for A2 whatsoever. We've got 2 back-to-back whoop sections again, but then after that, we've got a single into a 90-degree right-hander and a single coming out of the same 90-degree right-hander. So it's like single in, single out, and it just seems a little bit pointless. I feel like it'll be super one-lined because we can't really block pass on this game just like you do IRL and just absolutely yeet people, because you probably get a 2-week like suspension or probation for it. But I mean, it'll be fine. We all have the same track. We're all dealt the same cards at the end of the day. Now, one track that I'm very excited for, especially being a 450 rider, is Glendale. Like, Glendale has a disgustingly long, well, I think 2 disgustingly long rhythm sections, which look like they'll be quite good fun to kind of scrub your way through, tripling the entire way, or if you can get a quad in there, it'll be exciting. And it should be good fun. I'm excited for the upcoming rounds. One thing that US Aiden mentioned the other day, which I hadn't even thought about until now, is so Cripple Crowns. Oh god, not Cripple Crowns. Triple Crowns. The format is top 18 go straight through to the main, and then 19th through to, I think, is it 40? Yeah, 19th through to 40th, all line up on the gate for an LCQ, where the top 4 go through to the main event. In terms of qualifying this year, people like myself and Aiden and Dad Shoes and the quote-unquote the older members of the community, not really in terms of age because Aiden's still quite young, but in terms of how long you've been around, we're not really the fastest anymore when it comes to qualifying. I think that's quite apparent. I mean, my qualifying positions so far this year have been like, I think like a 10th and a 9th, something like that. And there is every possibility that if we're not gelling with one of the Triple Crown tracks, we could qualify outside of that top 18, which is really a scary thing to think about, because like, Aiden's won a Supercross championship before all of the cracked out of their head kids decided to start playing and absolutely whooping our asses. Dad Shoes has been really fast as well. I don't know if he's won a Supercross chip off the top of my head. I generally can't remember, but he's always been right up there over the years, and he finished 3rd at round 2 whilst qualifying about 22nd or so. So that just goes to show what race pace does over qualifying lap times. But take that exact same qualifying and move over to a Triple Crown, and he might not even make it into the main event because he won't qualify straight through for 22nd, and there's every chance that he could just get screwed over a little bit in the LCQ and not make it through, even though he's very capable of getting a top 3, which is just outrageous to me. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about Triple Crowns overall. I like the format of having 3 races. I don't like how short the races are because I feel like it stops you getting any sort of a flow going, but obviously they've got to be shorter to fit 3 races in there. I'm interested to know your thoughts. Do you enjoy partaking in Triple Crowns? Do you prefer the, I guess you'd call it, standard format? I think when I'm watching racing, as in when the real life is going on, there's pros and cons of both. I like the aspect of going through heats and then having to go to an LCQ as a second chance if you need to, rather than there just being an LCQ after qualifying. Then I also like the aspect of there being multiple races, so if they have a bad one, they've got a chance, and it kind of promotes good consistency over just getting one good start and getting lucky, I guess. So yeah, I'm interested to know how other people feel about that. I generally am. I would like to say, So you saw me try quadding into that rhythm section there and getting a bit sketchy. I 100%, and this isn't me just trying to make excuses, I think if I was on my normal Husky with my normal setup right now, I think we'd be able to quad into each and every rhythm here. I genuinely do. Like, there's some big old lines that are possible. And I think it's... Oh, get over that. Yes. And then triple. And triple in. Lovely. And I think this is a good testament to show how much time and effort RGMX has put into this. Like, it flows so nicely. The transition, so the jump faces and the landings of the jumps are peaky enough to where you can hit some big lines, but not so peaky that they cause weird physics and you just like the bars yanking sideways on you. So I think the jumps are built really nicely, and it's pretty as well. If you look around, I mean, I'm not sure if this is a random, I guess, hang on a second. No, it's not. I was going to say, I'm not sure if it's just like a random mountain range, but it feels very Trentino-esque, if that makes sense, like with the massive mountains surrounding you, and it just looks really nice. It's bright, the track decals are like pleasing on the eyes. The sand is a little bit grainy, so I imagine it's probably ruining my my video recording here, but the dirt part, A-okay, no problem at all. And then actually, after I mentioned it at the start about the bows having collisions, I haven't really noticed them being an issue at all. The track is narrow, but it's not so tight to the point where you're tiptoeing your way around. And I think I'm going to have to agree with Charlie on this. The only negative thing I can find about it so far is the fact that there's only 22 to 24-ish gates. I haven't fully counted. But then it's a Supercross track, so it makes sense. So RGMX, if you do end up watching this video at all and you've made it this far, first of all, thank you very much for making this for us. It's really cool. And I'd actually wouldn't mind to see you kind of take this a bit further and just make some more of this style of track, because I don't think we get much of this. We either get super serious Supercross or we get outdoors. There's no real like casual / longer Supercrossy type tracks. The only suggestion I would make is possibly give us the opportunity to ride with 40 players. I think that would be really nice. I'd certainly love to host like Elim races or something on a track like this. I think it'd be really good fun. And the fact that you've gone through the effort of making a wet and a dry version, I think it's a big old W. We definitely don't get enough wet tracks in this game. I know not everybody enjoys them. I myself, I'm a little bit of a fanboy, I can't lie, because I try and be as consistent as possible rather than setting burners all the time. But I think you've done a really good job here and should be very proud of yourself for this being your first track in the game. I didn't read anywhere if you've made tracks for other games or anything like that, but if this is genuinely the first track you've ever made on a motocross game overall, then give yourself a bit of a pat on the back. You've definitely got a knack for it, and I'm just intrigued to see where it takes you and if you're going to carry on, or if it's going to be like a one and done like myself. I'm never making the track again, boys. There's far too much time involved for it, and I was going to say for little reward, you don't really need a reward out of it at the end of the day unless you're trying to sell your tracks. But it's just kind of like, yeah, I spent 70-ish hours on this track. I've released it, we've ridden it a handful of times, and now it's just gone into obscurity, never gets touched anymore. So yeah, I probably won't make any more, but I'm not as talented as these boys are. You can see even when it comes to like the masking off the track, where he's got a little bit of grass here and there, it looks very natural. It doesn't look like super man-made. He's got the water truck here, there, and everywhere. We've got like limited boundaries, so you feel like you're enclosed into this little area with the mountain range up in the background. He's done a really good job, and I'm not surprised to see so many people talking about it and enjoying it. So thank you very much, RGMX, for this, and thank you to all of you for watching as well. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you did, then all I ask is you to drop a little like and subscribe to the channel if you are new. I would very much appreciate it, and I hope you have a lovely rest of the day, wherever you guys are up to, and I'll catch you all next time. Peace.
I'm working hard, I'm sacrificing my life, I'm sacrificing my mind, I'm sacrificing my sanity, but most importantly, I'm sacrificing my time. Boy, I feel fine, I feel like I am a king. Honestly, I can't complain, even with faith that's the size of a grain of some salt, I will still move a mountain and do what I want.